Well, here we are. We are live again. Live again. It is Monday. So because I come here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And yeah, so I was going to talk today a little bit about propeller tips on your propeller. So it was kind of a bit of a double meaning there, propeller tips, but you're going to learn something today. And welcome to the superpilotish channel. My name is Graham Wilson, and I'm going to be talking about some propeller tips, pun intended, in my basement. So, okay, so the other day I was, one of my other videos that I did was about how you do, if you pick the learning aid first, the visual aid first, and then you plan a lesson, it can be a bit of a disaster. And then I was thinking, hey, I'll do the same thing again today. But I was in my garage and I saw a shovel up on the wall. And I thought, yeah, it was a shovel. I had to replace the handle on it because it kind of, I don't know, it got weak, it rotted out, and I had to replace the handle on the shovel. And then so I was thinking, oh, I should talk about how wood rots, and anyways, that got me thinking about what this guy at the airport said once. Old Roger, he's not around the airport that much anymore. He doesn't fly anymore, but he'll visit every once in a while. And so I remember one time old Roger was, we were putting the planes away where I used to work. We keep the planes outside all year round. And Roger gave me a little tip on like, okay, you should put your propeller like like this up and down because we might be getting some rain tonight. And I was thinking, I never really thought about it. And so, what's your reaction when some old guy tells you to do so, suggests something to you? Your first reaction is like, yeah, what do you know, old man? But then your second reaction is, maybe he knows something. And then your third reaction is like, I hate to admit it, but the old guy's right. So he was right. And to this day, they still store the airplane that way. So what I was going to talk about is, and then another thing too, he was talking about wood propellers. So that's what got me thinking between the wood handle on my shovel and wood propellers, what old Roger told me. And he said that he grew up around the airport back way back in the day when all the old planes had wood propellers. And he said that for a wood propeller, you should always have it. You know what? I will demonstrate this with not a whiteboard, but a cardboard. Here we go. There we go. You already saw my cardboard. I got some brand new cardboard. Okay, this is cool. Before I get going, it's like you saw this already at the beginning, maybe. And this, it looks like it used to be the back of a picture or something like that. And then because my neighbor is moving across the street there. So they put things out on the sidewalk and people come by and take what they want. And I was looking at this stuff leaned up against a tree all day yesterday. And of course, the cheap pilot in me says, what kind of free stuff can I get? So I was like, that looks like cardboard. I think I can put that to good use. Check this out. Okay, so you already saw Exhibit A. And then I got this super awesome. Okay, it's this like this is what I saw, and it's like, oh, this is some trifold. Can you see that trifold display board? And it opens up like this. Ooh, look at that. It's like white cardboard, so it's the next best thing to an actual whiteboard. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I could still use the back here too. It's nice and big. Might be too big. I could always cut it in half. I got some scissors over here on the workbench. But anyways, I got some cardboard now, so that's cool. And there you go. Free cardboard, the best. All right, so back to my talking about how old Roger was telling me how to take care of your propellers. Okay, so I guess this would be horizontally. What do we got here? Let's do. We'll do this here. Okay. Well, I will start over here. All right, so we're going to start with our. Now, my usual artwork is fantastic as usual here. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a propeller? That's pretty sweet, eh? Okay, so there's your propeller. You got your spinner over there, and you got your. So let's just say this is your wood propeller. And then another way of storing your propeller, if it's just a two-bladed propeller, we'll do one vertically. How's that? Oh, you can actually see what I'm doing there. That's cool. All right, those look airworthy to me. And okay, so let's talk a little bit about Roger's idea of storing this one over here, and he said to put it horizontally. So I was like, why would you do that with a wood propeller? Now, I don't know if it kind of makes sense to me, and I mean, it definitely wouldn't hurt. So it's like okay advice, I think. If you had your wood propeller and you start it like this, now you have to remember that most of the time airplanes just sit around. If they're just little airplanes, I mean big jets, they try to keep them up in the air, making money as much as possible. But little planes, they sit around like 99% of the time. So let's just say you had a wood propeller and you stored it like this. Now wood is porous, just like my little workbench here. And so it would be it's propellers, if you haven't really looked at them, they're kind of set up like plywood. There's different grains going in different directions, and even different types of wood, hardwood, softwood, different types of laminates and glues. But basically, you could have it where if it was sitting for a long time and maybe it's humid or it rains or something, if you're outside even, it's probably not totally water. If it got like a little bit of water, it would eventually kind of go down here. Okay, now take a long time, might not be that much, but let's just say you get a little bit and makes it just over on this side here. Now, when you start up your propeller, all that force is forcing the water back into the tip here. So if you think about that, I mean, the propeller tips are going right just underneath the speed of sound. So that's a whole lot of force pulling all that. If you ever wheeling a little kid around, you got him by the hands and you're wheeling him around, and then you let go and the kid wipes out. Well, the faster you're going around and you let go of the kid, the further the kid's going to fly, right? So same here with the water. You got all that force pulling pulling you right to the tip, and then it can get out of balance. So if it's out of balance, now that's putting extra pressure on the bearing, the front bearing of the engine that's running the propeller. So you want to keep your propeller balanced, and if a simple fix is just to put it this way and eliminate any chances of it getting out of balance, hey, why not put it this way? All right, old Roger, I think you're right on that one. But there's another advantage too about storing your propeller this way, and I'll tell you that story. Even if you don't have, so here's your tips. Maybe you didn't know that, maybe you never thought of that. Now you are. And so here's one thing, especially if you're not from a colder climate. Say you're flying around in Texas and you don't get snow or something, or Florida, and then or I don't know, where else would you have? Australia. It doesn't snow there unless you're up in the mountains, right? Right, mate. Okay, I can't do an Australian accent. I won't even try it. So let's just say this is when old Roger suggested that I put the aluminum propeller like this. So the thinking there is, and I've actually seen that myself, where if you can have some sort of maybe freezing rain at night, or it's sitting around, maybe the taxiway or the runway is closed, it hasn't been shoveled yet, so you might have some snow there, and then it melts with the sun, and then it freezes at night. So first thing in the morning, you come in. Now you had, if you parked it this way, now there could have been some snow and everything kind of getting in, freezing rain dribbling in here, and it would pool at the bottom of the spinner. Okay, so you got this little extra pool of water. Something like that. Actually, the pool of water would be flat, right? So look at that. We're getting high tech. Okay, so now you got that water there and it freezes, turns into ice overnight. And you go first thing in the morning, you fire it up, and now you got an extra, extra half pound over here spinning around at 1,000 RPM. Well, you're going to see that you'll feel it. It'll shake the whole plane. And the centrifugal force is pushing it towards the edge of the spinner, so it won't fly out here. It's just going to get pushed down this way, and it'll stay in there for your whole flight, and so you'll be all jiggly. So another thing that we found happened somebody took out the plane for a flight, and they came back and they said, "Boy, that was running really rough." So we took a look at it and suspected, and then kind of looked in there. There was some ice. Okay, let's go have the mechanics check it out. And the spinner is mounted to a not too thick aluminum backplate, and I think the plate was cracked because it was jiggling around so much for so long, and at a higher RPM. So if you put it this way, if you got your rain, the rain and everything's coming in here, it'll just kind of drip out the bottom. And then as it freezes, you'll be able to see when you come in the morning, you might see, you'll see as it was, I don't know, maybe you can't even see that drip, drip, drip. You might see something like that at the bottom of the propeller, and you'd be, is that balanced now? It'd be better than this one. But might want to put it in a hanger, warm it up, make sure everything drains out, and then you can go flying, and your propeller and spinner and everything's all balanced. And so that's now I was thinking maybe that's like with my wood propeller. Maybe I was thinking how would that apply to my shovel? Maybe because I hang my shovels up one way, and then is it a better way to do that because then the water drips down? But I was thinking too, it probably doesn't matter on a shovel because it's not pulling all those that force that's if this is rotating around, everything's getting pushed towards the outside. So that doesn't really happen on a shovel. And so I was thinking, here's another tip that maybe you haven't thought about, but I just thought about it today. All right, I got another training aid here. This is my original training aid. Okay, here we go. One shovel. Let's see how this looks. It's all dirty. Hopefully it doesn't get all over the floor. It's dried up dirt. Okay, so this was my little fix. This is a new handle on it. Okay, this was originally, I think it only had this little guy in it, and there was a nut on the back. But I figured, let's kick it up a notch here. And then so I put it on the drill press, drilled through here, and I stuck a bolt with a nut on the end there. So I got like double thick or double, I don't know. It won't fall out. or did it have that before? No, I think that's right. I think I added that one. But anyways, it's heavy duty now. And so I was thinking the way I store it is I got a couple of big lag screws, whatever. You can use whatever hook you want. And then you have your one under here, and you just kind of hang it on there. And I was thinking it is probably better to hang this up in your garage like this, because I'm thinking this would all rot out if you got mud in there or water, or if you left it outside and if it rained, it's not totally airtight there. All the water would drip in here and fill up. So if you have it outside, I always like to keep things inside because they last longer. If you hang it up closer to the ceiling of your garage, you'll notice that at the very top of the ceiling, it's warmer than it is another, how long is this, 5 feet, I guess, another 5 feet down. You go up in the attic of your garage, it's considerably hotter than at the if you're crawling around under your car. So I figured if it's hotter, then if any moisture is in here, better chances of it evaporating, not rotting the wood. And there we go. So it doesn't really, it doesn't have to do with propellers too much. But hey, there's more to life than just flying, believe it or not. There's also gardening and lots of other fun things that you can encounter here on the Superpilotish channel. Okay, I'll just put that. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good fix over there. Okay, put that back down. And okay, that's about it for today's show. So you can figure I'll just kind of shut her down here. What else can I tell you about propellers? I think that was about it. I'm looking down here at with my fantastic artwork, pretty cool. What else can I do? Oh, that was another thing I wanted to tell you. I always forget something here, right? I usually make a little list of things to talk about, and then, but I make my list at the last minute and I forget stuff. Okay, so the way that you're parking this is with the two-bladed propeller. But I also wanted to show you that that would work on a 3-bladed prop too. So you got this here. All right, there we go. So if you had a three-bladed propeller, though, this would be all out of whack. This would be all out of whack because the angles are off. But I'd be pulling all strange. But yeah, imagine that this is not to scale, by the way. And yeah, so if you had a 3-bladed propeller, you'd put it that way. 4-bladed propeller, I'd imagine you'd probably put it that way outside. So everything can still drip down like that. Okay, so there we go. Depending on what airplane you got, you know which way to store your propellers now. And all right, I think we'll just we'll shut her down. If you have any other tips, feel free to you can always email me at superpilotish@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment below if maybe you have some propeller knowledge you want to share. And there's and to the to the boat people, to the boaters out there that clicked onto my clickbait. Sorry, no boat stuff here, other than the only thing I'll tell you about boat propellers, I don't know too much about it. They're in the water all the time. Boat propellers work the same as airplane propellers because air basically acts, it behaves the same as a fluid, like it's yeah, or like a liquid kind of thing. So, and I know I used to work with a guy that was in the Navy, and he said he called the propellers on the ship, they called them the screws. So that would be I guess a water screw instead of an air screw. And then I think who is it? Da Vinci, I think, or something like that. He had the idea of like a screw going through the air like a propeller. So yeah, this has been around. And then oh yeah, and then now that I'm just babbling, I'll babble some more. If you're ever in Bedeck, Nova Scotia, that's where Alexander Graham Bell did a whole lot of experiments on propellers, and you can see some of the because he did a lot of work with hydrofoils there, which is basically a wing that's underwater and it lifts the hull of the boat out, and there's less drag on the hull, and so you're basically flying through the water kind of thing, just like flying through the air. And Alexander Graham Bell had a whole team of guys there, and they were always working on propeller design. And it was kind of neat when I went there to see the prototypes. They would have all these thin, I don't know, I guess it'd be like thin pieces of wood, and then they glue them together in like a fan shape, and then see how much thrust they could get off of it, or did they blow up, or how fast could they get them going. So if you're ever in Bedeck, Nova Scotia, and you're thinking, should I go to that Alexander Graham Bell Museum? Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's on the Cabot Trail up there in Cape Breton Island. So that was a while ago I went there, but I still remember it's very cool. And another thing that I remember too, while I'm babbling, is that the aerodynamics teacher that I had at college, he said that it was really interesting that in aviation, and like a propeller is basically just a wing that's going rotationally through the air, providing lift that way instead of that way. And he said that it's kind of interesting that everyone figured out how to fly airplanes first, and then they figured out the math afterwards. And so now they use the math to do it, but at first it was all trial and error. So pretty I don't know, humans can be pretty inventive. And just like if you don't have a whiteboard, you can invent a cardboard. Okay. And okay, thanks for watching. I think we're going to shut her down. Oh, what do we got here? We got a few comments. Okay. Screws were made without foil until after Wright brothers. They're made without foil. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it would be yeah, so it would be like just kind of like a paddle or something. They wouldn't have any wash in and wash out and stuff. So I'm not going to get too technical on that, but yeah, I would tend to agree there. And Mona Moore, you are welcome for the show. Thanks for coming in. And you can check out the show Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern. And we'll shut her down. Okay. Thank you for watching. Bye.